Hello, Barney history fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Spots of Love podcast. I am your host, Karan. Like I said before, we're really just on this journey to talk to all sorts of friends and family of ours within this group, both fans of the show, cast and crew members, whoever we get a chance to have in this seat across from me, and talk about our friend Barney and our lives and our experiences with him. We're going to keep going on with that today. I have another great guest to talk to here from the Barney History Fans group. Her name is Heather. Heather, welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Is this your first time ever doing a podcast or things like that?
Yes, it's my first time.
Cool. Well, I've hosted a few different podcasts. I think about 3 or 4. So I'll try to make it as simple and not so difficult or new for you. Okay.
Okay.
Let's just start in the beginning then. Let's start with your experience with Barney. Do you remember when you first found Barney in the TV show, and what that experience was like?
Well, I remember when I first found Barney. Well, my mom took me. I was a toddler. My mom took me to a play group, and one of the other moms mentioned to her Barney was new back then. It was the PBS series, and someone said, "Oh, turn on Barney. She'll love it." And one day, my mom turned on Barney and Friends, and I fell in love with it. And Christmas 1993, I remember my grandma gave me a musical Barney doll that played the I Love You song when you squeeze his hand, and I got Baby Bop, and I got the little Barney slippers with the Barney heads, and I just loved Barney. There was something special about him, something I'd never seen before.
Yeah, that's awesome. I used to have those little house shoes as well with the Barney head on them.
Yeah, those are cute.
Yeah, I wish I could find them again just so I could add to my collection to have, because I definitely don't have them anymore. That's awesome. So you grew up right at the very start of the PBS series then, right? Season 1 and 2 and those kind of things, the early years?
Yeah, I was born in 92, so I remember I was born like about a few weeks before the PBS series premiered, so
Nice. Awesome.
I feel like I was meant to be a Barney fan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt too. When I started, I was born in 93. My brother, who's a year older than me, he was watching it already before I was. He was born in 92. So it was already in the household when I was born. And then I just kind of took it and ran with it. And he stopped it. He grew out of it eventually, but here I am, obviously still a Barney fan. But yeah, thanks to him, I think is the reason why I even found or knew about the show and had all those items and things like that. Do you have a favorite, since you grew up during the classic years, did you watch Barney all the way to the end, or did you have a moment where you stopped watching?
I remember once it got through like seasons 4 through 6, like I kind of lost interest. I mean, I really prefer seasons 1 through 3 and like the Backyard Gang stuff. That stuff is the stuff I really want to see. Hopefully someday released on streaming or DVD or Blu-ray. That's the stuff I grew up with. That's my Barney.
Yeah, for sure. Why do you think that is? Because there's a lot of fans who prefer the classic era of Barney. And usually that includes Backyard Gang to season 6, but you said around the 4th to the 6th season is when you lost interest, and that the very, very early years was the ones that you prefer the most. Why do you think there was something different about, what do you think changed in it that made you lose interest to where you
I think it was the change of the cast, the old guard growing up, leaving and stuff, and I was so used to everyone from that, and then it kind of got fancier, and I kind of liked how Barney was just more simple in the beginning.
Oh, sure.
Not too extravagant, not too fancy. And plus I had started going to school and stuff. So when seasons 4 through 6 were on, I wasn't able to catch the episodes as they aired and stuff. So.
Oh, sure. That makes sense. Did you own any home videos or anything like that when you were younger?
of season 4 through 6 home videos.
Well, just any home videos in general.
Oh yeah, I owned a lot of Barney tapes. I remember as when I was a kid, as a toddler, I figured out how to put the tapes in the VCR,
Yeah,
play them, fast forward them, rewind them, and put them back in the VHS rewinder. My mom always said that I was that if I was bored, I just put in a Barney tape and I was quiet for a half hour to an hour.
there you go. Nice.
I
Did
think
you?
my first one was I still have it up in my attic was Waiting for Santa. Was
Oh
my
yeah,
first tape.
the classic. That's a lot
I
of
try to watch it every year at Christmas time. It's
yeah,
tradition.
for sure.
And Night Before Christmas is good too. I like that one too.
Yeah. Do you have an all-time favorite home video that you would say is your absolute favorite one? If you had to choose just one to watch forever, do you have a favorite that you would choose?
Really, it's a tie between either Magical Musical Adventure or Barney in concert. As a kid, I never saw Barney in concert. We never rented that tape, but I saw it a few years ago as an adult for the first time, and I just ended up falling in love with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Barney in concert is a great one because um it's not it's very much like what you said about the early years of Barney where it was very simple, right? There wasn't a lot happening in that show. It was just kind of this big sing-along. The first time that you see Barney on a big stage like that. But
Yeah,
there's
that was
something
like
about it.
that gave me chills. It gave me nostalgia.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic, right? Because
It's like
it's
even though I wasn't born yet, I wasn't there at the show. I was like I felt like I was there.
yeah, exactly. It kind of captures you in that way where you really do feel like you're a part of it. And I feel like only Barney in concert and Radio City Music Hall's live show are the only two that make you feel that way. The other ones are I think the other shows are great, but I think those are the only two that make you feel like you're right there in the audience with them the entire time.
Exactly. I mean, I actually attended as a kid. I attended both Big Surprise and musical
Wow.
I mean, I thought they were fun and stuff though. Though
Yeah,
with Big Surprise, I kind of had got freaked out by the part where robots appeared on stage, and my mom had to take me out to the bathroom because I started crying and I got scared.
oh
And
no.
I never really liked when robots appeared on Barney. I'm to this day, Michael's teapot had robot costume from the
Yeah,
Queen of Make Believe scares me. To me, it's like nightmare fuel. That and the
really.
song just sounds so scary. I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm sorry you had to feel you felt that way or you had to deal with that watching the show. That is a that first robot, even the original song that they used that he sang during that episode is a little like eerie or kind of creepy in a way.
Exactly.
I
For me,
never
it's
got
like
creepy. Oh, go ahead.
a sensor. It's a sensory thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got creeped out by anything with Barney, not the old backyard gang stuff or any of the things, but I could see where because there's I've heard people say that robot costume or the Winkster from Live in New York City, or Barney's voice on the very first ones were kind of creepy to them. And so I could see how that would
I
be.
wasn't scared of Barney's voice in the first videos, and I wasn't scared of the Winkster. It's just that the robots
Robot.
scared me, and it didn't help that when I was a little kid, my dad would he collected antique toy robots from old sci-fi movies and TV shows
Oh,
like
sure.
Lost in Space, Forbidden Planet, The Day the Earth Stood Still, and that didn't that didn't help my fear.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet not. Let's see. Do you have when it comes to Barney in a whole, do you have a favorite song that you would say is your absolute favorite?
My favorite song, it's a tie between If All the Raindrops and the theme song.
Yeah. Why those two?
Hmm, I'm not sure to be honest. If All the Raindrops always cheered me up when it was like
Mhm.
raining and stuff. And the theme song, it's catchy. And I
Yeah.
also like I Love You because my parents used to sing it to me every night before I went to bed as a kid.
Oh, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Um, when my daughter was born, she'll be 2 in March. I didn't sing I Love You to her much, but I used to sing her the Everyone is Special song
Aw.
when she was really tiny. And she's a huge Barney fan now. She loves all, and we watch all of them, the Backyard Gang, the later seasons, all of it, and she loves it. I think what makes those songs special, the ones that you listed, especially with you being an early Barney's fan, is I think it's something with what Bob Singleton did with the music arrangements that really brought all of those songs out, right?
Yeah. I liked
Um,
Bob Singleton's arrangements. When the song arrangement changed in like seasons 4 through 6 and stuff, I'm like, it didn't feel the same.
yeah, yeah, and I mean Joe Phillips, who took over from seasons 4 all the way through to the end, he was a great musician. I mean, he did all the live show music and all of those things. But yeah, you're right. Where Bob Singleton's music just there's something very classic to it, and very Barney like that kind of got lost after he left the series. But I think that's why those songs, those three that you list, were from the very beginning stages of Barney. And I think it's just the way that he made that music work and sound. It was just very relatable, I think, in a sense. Um, Especially those three arrangements, the original "I Love You" arrangements, the theme song, and "If All the Raindrops." Those are some of the best arrangements that exist in the series, I think, as a whole.
I
Um,
agree with you on that.
yeah. Um, let's see here. If you Okay, here's another question. I interviewed Emmy. Um, she was the first interview, and I asked her the same question. If you were in charge of Barney, say if they wanted to reboot Barney and bring it back, and they said, Heather, we want you to be in charge of this new version of Barney. What would you do differently to bring that character back?
Hmm. I'd probably see if like bring back as like guest appearances some of like the classic kids and stuff who are now adults and stuff. And I'd also I'd keep it live action, no animation or anything like that. And I'd want to have a lyric added to the song My Family's Just Right for Me about a kid having either two moms or two dads and Barney saying that's okay as long as they both love you and stuff. I mean, I don't believe in like I think it should be allowed in because like some kids might have two moms or two
Yeah,
dads and I think that needs to be shown for the world, but not like push or shove down people's throats. I mean, I just want to put it out there in a simple way that love is love and family is family.
yeah, I agree with that, and I agree with the point that you said about not having to like shove it down people's throats, because I think Barney is one of those perfect characters where um we you don't have to do that, right? You just introduce it, it's in a song, or you mention it, and then you move on, and it makes those people who identify with that feel seen. But it's not a lot of this like, and here we're going to show you that this kid has two moms, you know. It's where they make it, because the one thing that anyone who identifies with that just wants to feel normal like everyone else, right? They don't need anyone to make a big deal about that,
Exactly.
right? So I agree with that. And I think Barney would be a great character
I
to
mean,
do
even if they
that.
just showed in the background, like in wherever the setting they chose for it to take place, they showed like background characters with a kid with like two moms or two dads in the background. I mean,
Yeah,
that would just be enough to show. They don't even have to say anything. Just show it.
I agree. And it's no different, I think, than when Barney would have kids in wheelchairs or that kind of thing. They didn't
Or like
make
when
a
he
big
had,
deal
or
about
like
it.
in
They
season
just
two
did it.
when he had the kid with Down syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. They're just there. They're like everyone else. We're having fun, and you don't have to mention it. They're just a part of this fun that we're having. And I think that I like that idea. And I think if Barney was to make a comeback, we would see those kind of things, because the people who um worked on Barney and the people who actually cared about what Barney did, you know, I feel like those kind of things would be a given to them. So I like that idea for sure.
I mean, Barney's messages of unconditional love and acceptance of everyone speak to me because I remember when I was in elementary school, I got bullied for liking Barney. And to be honest, there were times I'd sneak my Barney doll into my backpack at school if I needed a quick hug her. I felt like Barney was the only friend that I had at the time when I had no friends because he didn't judge me. And I knew that even though just because he was a fictional character, he loved me for who I was and he wouldn't judge me
Yeah.
judge me.
And that's I think that sums up right there what Barney is, because I think everyone can identify with that. We all, anytime we needed a friend, Barney was undoubtedly the one person that we knew was our friend forever, right? Um,
Exactly.
so that's awesome that you used to take him to school with you for those moments when you felt covered. It's unfortunate that people bullied you over that, but as we know with the world that we're in, it's just it's just what some people do, and maybe those people need a hug. Like Bob West said it best on the documentary. Sometimes those people just need a hug, but it's unfortunate
Exactly.
you have to be the one to feel that meanness put towards you. But I'm glad Barney was there to make you feel loved and special in those times.
Yeah. I remember like a couple years ago, my grandparents passed away a couple years ago. Grandma was in 2021, grandpa was in 2016. What I did to grieve was I watched old Barney episodes to help me grieve. And you know what? It made me feel better because I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I remember remember at my grandma and grandpa's house, my grandpa would always watch a lot of TV. He'd watch a lot of sports and stuff, even boring stuff like golf. And I remember he'd sit with me and he'd watch Barney with me or watch Nickelodeon with me.
Yeah,
It was always a happy memory I had at my grandparents' house.
yeah. You know what? I had that same experience. My grandma and grandpa had an in-home daycare. My grandma still has it. And so that's where I grew up. And then I eventually moved in and lived with her once my grandpa passed away when I was 10. But my grandpa was one of the people in my family who supported me enjoying and watching Barney. And he would do the same thing. He was into sports and that kind of thing too, wrestling and that kind of thing. But he would also watch Barney with me and encourage me to watch the show and those kind of things. So we kind of have that in common with our grandparents. Um,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Um, really quick here. I want to try to play this game with you. How well do you think you know Barney's music in the show?
I think I know it pretty well.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to play this game with you. It's called Name That Song. And what's going
Okay.
to happen is I'm going to show you, or I'm going to play 4 to 5 seconds of an instrumental of a Barney song. And then I want you to just see if you can guess what that song is just by hearing those short seconds of the song. You want
Okay.
to try?
Yep, I'll give it a try.
Cool. I'll share my screen here with you. It's only three, so it's going to be very short. Um, but let's see if we can try this. Let's see if we can make this work. Are you seeing that on your screen?
Yep, I see it.
Awesome. So yeah, this is called Name That Song. We're just gonna do it 3 times. And then yeah, you just try to guess the song. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Here's number one.
I honestly don't know that one.
No idea?
No idea.
If you had to take a guess, what would you guess? Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah, I'd like to hear it again.
Okay, one more time. Here you go.
I think it maybe is that the friends are special one.
Close. This one is Mr. Sun.
Ah, Mr. Sun. I didn't recognize it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
probably didn't recognize it because of different arrangement.
probably. Yeah. That's the difficult thing with Barney is because the arrangements changed so much. Um, this second one might be a little bit more difficult for you, but we'll try it because this came after the time that you stopped watching Barney. Um, but we'll try it really fast and see if you can guess this one. Ready?
Ready? I don't know that one either.
Don't know that one? Okay.
Mm-mm.
That one came that was from Barney. Well, come on over to Barney's house. So that was Anything Can Happen. Have you ever seen that video?
I saw that video. I watched it and I mean it really didn't feel like Barney to me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so that's the song that they sing when Barney is giving them a tour of his house. So that's Anything Can Happen. I think you might know this last one. Are you ready?
All right.
Here we go.
Yeah, everyone is special. I know that one.
Everyone is special. There you go. Hey, there's no win or lose in that game. You did really well. It's hard. I mean, like you said, if you haven't seen those movies or if you didn't watch them much, it's hard to really know, especially by the arrangements. But you still did pretty good. Everyone is special. That's a Bob Singleton arrangement, so I think anyone can almost guess what that song would have been.
Yeah.
Awesome job. Before
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Before we end this here today, one part of our podcast is we always ask our guests to bring on a Barney item that they own that they hold near and dear to them. And would you like to share with us what it is that you have with you today?
Yep, I sure would. I have a Dakin backyard gang Barney doll that my mom and I found when I was probably 3, 4 years old. We found him at a garage sale in like the Chicago suburbs where I
Awesome. So
lived,
you've
and
had it with you since you were
I
about
have up
3
on
years
my
old.
shelf. I have the two gun dolls in both sizes that were also found at garage sales.
Wow, you're lucky because I can't find those gun dolls anywhere.
I remember my grandma, she almost got rid of my backyard gang Barney dolls, and I'm like, nope, I'm not letting you get rid of those. I'm keeping those.
Yeah, I don't blame. I wish I did that because I owned a lot of Barney dolls. I had one of the original. I had the larger backyard gang doll. And eventually, I when I was younger, I went through this phase where I was just trying to get rid of certain things, and so my grandma and I got rid of a lot of my Barney stuffed toys that I don't have anymore. And one of them was the backyard gang doll. But this is also at a time when I never thought that we would see a day where Barney wasn't on TV. So I didn't think holding on to them was going to be something that was worthwhile in the long run. So I really wish I would have kept those. But I'm glad you have that one because that's one that everyone tries to find, and it's just so hard to get them.
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom and I probably paid like a couple of bucks for it at like a garage.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking like, how the heck did he end up in Chicago? But I'm like, he's still in really good
that's
shape.
awesome.
I'm just happy to have him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you have that, and I'm glad you have the two gun dolls as well because those ones are even more rare. But it's cool to have those. Do you have a decent size of a collection of Barney things, or do you just have a few things that are the most important?
Decent size. I have up in my attic some of the tapes and stuff. I remember a few years ago, I remember I found it like my sister works at a thrift store called Savers. I found they gotten a bunch of Barney tapes one day, and a couple of them were the Time Life ones, and I
Wow.
got like 5 Time Life tapes for like 99 cents each. And I remember one of them was the Queen of Make Believe. And oddly enough, I have kind of an odd history of that episode because whenever like the power would go out at my house and stuff, and I turned back on the TV, that episode was always playing at right before the part where they put the head on the robot, and I'm like, I'm turning the TV off. And so
Yeah,
that I'm afraid if I pop the tape in my VCR or my DVD VHS player, that'll pop up at that exact moment and scare the crap out of me.
yeah. Wow, that's interesting. That is kind of scary. Weird. Um, is there anything else that you would like to share about Barney or your experiences with Barney or things like that that we haven't talked about on this podcast so far?
Hmm. I'd like to share that I really feel that it was a good show that show, and I think that Barney should definitely be brought back for today's kids. I think today's kids need to hear his messages of love, unconditional love, and acceptance of everyone. When I mean, with all this stuff, bad stuff going on in the world right now it'd be nice to have someone be like, it's okay, I love you, everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a perfect way to end this podcast. We do need Barney back today because more now than ever, I think we definitely need a character where our young kids can have a safe space to go to and someone that they
I
trust,
mean,
right?
yeah, I mean, if I ever have kids of my own someday, I'm definitely gonna show them Barney. I know my family. We have a family friend who has like a daughter who's like she has a daughter who's almost 2 years old, and thanks to me, I've given her mom like Barney dolls and DVDs and stuff, and thanks to me, her daughter became a Barney fan too. I tried with my nephew, but he's more into Sesame Street and Elmo and Curious George right now.
Gotcha. Well, hey, any way that we can spread the love and the message of Barney, even if it's just one kid, we're still pushing his message along. So I think that's the best that we can do.
Yep, I
Well,
agree.
I want to say thank you, Heather, for coming on to the podcast today. It's really been fun talking to you and learning.
Yeah, it's been fun talking to you too.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. We'll have to bring you on somewhere down the line after we get through more people and touch back with you and see.
Okay, I'd rather see more people talk about Barney. I mean, I think I said what I had to say, and I'm glad I was able to get it out there. So,
Definitely.
also message me the YouTube link when it comes out. I want to be able to show this to my friends and my family and my boyfriend and stuff. So,
for sure,
I want to show this to them when it comes out.
Yeah, it's gonna start in the group first and Barney History Fans first, and then we eventually will push it towards YouTube and Spotify and all those other places that you can get podcasts as well. So I'll definitely let you know when that comes out. To all of our fans out there, if you haven't signed up yet to be on the podcast, I invite you to do that using the Google form within the Barney History Fans group, and maybe one day soon we can see you in your spot of love. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.